My first year as a high school principal was about 15 years ago. And what I found was really interesting is after graduation, I I was in my office and I felt really good about, we got all those students across the stage and they're off and they're going to have successful lives. Well, it wasn't 48 hours before I had the first student come back and say, "Now what? Now what do I do? I really I'm not I've graduated from high school, but now what?" And one of the things that I realized then was that graduation is not a destination. It's just the threshold to your future. And that students need to understand that there's a great opportunity for them beyond high school graduation. Our responsibility is to make sure that every student graduates prepared to continue their education or enter the workforce prepared for a career that will allow them to earn a living to sustain themselves. So I started reflecting on my personal mission, which was and still is to help everyone that I work with exceed their own perceived potential. And what I found was students underestimate their potential all of the time. They inadvertently close doors they're going to need to open in the future. And often schools underestimate literacy and numeracy requirements of vocational careers as they are directing students towards their future. So I made it a very personal direction that our school would maximize the students' future opportunities while they were still in high school. And that enabled us to get our students from a 68% graduation rate to a 97% graduation rate. And these were students that were living in poverty and had some really challenging conditions. What I see in College Ready is that opportunity to maximize students' opportunities while they are still in high school. College Ready's supplemental content provides both that in-class blended learning model that allows the teacher and the student to work together to personalize student learning. The content is adaptive. The the assessments are adaptive. The sequencing for the students is adaptive. All of these things enable that personalization that we all want for our students. The content allows for flexible scheduling that adapts to each school's schedule. And I find as a high school principal that is key to helping any type of instructional supplemental program be successful. Will it fit into my schedule? Is it something that we can do? The other thing that I really appreciate about College Ready is the instructional materials provided to the teachers neutralize the impact of a less experienced teacher. And we know that not every teacher comes with the same skill set, but the materials and that adaptability that this program has to personalize the learning and the instruction for the teacher really puts both the teacher and the student in the driver's seat and allows that teacher to have the support they need if they don't have the experience that a more experienced teacher may have. College Ready provides teachers and the student with exact materials they need to support optimum learning for each student. Not every student, but each student, because we know that all students learn differently and we want every student to be successful at their level. In most classrooms, our teachers may not know what each teacher needs. College Ready provides this with both the instructional material for the teacher and the personalized learning that the student is provided. College Ready personalizes learning, and most importantly, it empowers students to manage their learning. And in all of my years as an educator, I've not seen a product that allows for that teacher generated relationship that we all know is so important, because learning is human. It's part of that, the dynamic that happens in the classroom that allows students to be successful. We want to make sure that we provide this for all of our students. Now that's enough about the general experience. Let's actually take a look at results from schools throughout the country who've used College Ready. We're going to start with some SAT information that we received from Chicago and Boston. You can see that if you look at the US national average, usually in a 52-week program, we could see as much as an average of 60-point increase. In just 12 weeks of using the College Ready content, we saw in Chicago a 117-point increase, and in Boston, in 14 weeks, a 141-point increase. This is the type of change that empowers the students. It gives them opportunities that they don't have without this type of supplemental instruction. Let's take a look at ACT, because the results with ACT are just as impressive. Typically, the US national average with 52 weeks of supplemental instruction, you can expect to see a 1.2 point increase. 1.2 point increase. But in just 14 weeks of using College Ready, in Phoenix we saw a 4-point increase, and in Mississippi we saw a 7-point increase. This was having the students do just one quarter, 9 weeks, 5 days a week. One of the things that we addressed in this is that you can look at the curriculum in any way, but the most important thing is to make it fit into your schedule. And that's what College Ready does. It uses your schedule and the student needs to deliver the instruction that will help students be successful.